Morning Football Weekend Edition. Thanks for bearing with us. How about this bear right here, Allen Robinson? All right, little Instagram post this week. We don't have any quitters in this locker room. All right, he's saying that they're going to bear down. They're not giving up on this season. They've got a little bit of work to do, but time now for On the Hook, presented by Bass Pro Shops. You know, it was reported this week, D. Hall, that Mitch Trubisky said he wanted all the TVs off in the team facility. He was tired of all the negativity. Apparently, he tried to turn them all off himself using the remote, but they fell incomplete. And so somebody else had to help him out. But, Mitch, I'm sorry, man. We're trying to have some fun at your expense, but you're not watching anyways because all the TVs are off.
I was there the day he said that.
You were there?
I had to report in team cam the day he said that.
So
nobody saw me in the building.
All right, so it's true. All right, well, since you're covering this game, you were there this week with On the Hook. Let's talk about this team. Basically, the whole staff and roster is on the hook, but in your mind, who's really on the hook with this Bears team?
The whole roster, the 53-man roster. Obviously, the offense and the defense is gassed, you guys. Let's be real. But Matt Nagy, every week, for the 4-game losing streak and all the expectations, we talked about Super Bowl this offseason. Yeah. And, you know, spending time around this team, he's having to go back on every Monday and Tuesday, and he's having to figure out why. Why is this not working? What are the problems offensively? Why is this thing struggling? And so he's not moving forward. He's moving ostensibly backwards. And I ask you guys, I mean, how does this happen 10 weeks into a season, D. Hall, when you had really a formula that worked a season ago?
Yeah. And for me, it's, you know, the blame falls on a little bit of everybody. Obviously, Coach Nagy, you talked about last year, them being able to do some things differently or be successful. And this year, they aren't being successful. Some of that is Matt Nagy in the way in which he's calling some of these plays. And he should have known, you know, the development of Mitchell Trubisky last year was kind of, you know, let's protect him. That should have been the same game plan when I felt like early in the season, they were trying to do a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. And so when you allude to everybody's making a different mistake at a different time, it's just that cohesiveness of that team, man. You know, Sean, you've been on teams that it seems like when guys are making mistakes, you got to go back to the fundamentals sometimes. Yeah, football should be an easy game, and everything looks hard for the Bears. So, you know, look, they're all on the hook, and I think if things don't shape up, like you said, look, Ryan Pace is going to be feeling the heat too. When you look at what this team did last year, Kings of the North, 12-4, and if it wasn't for that double doink, they would have, you know, moved on in the playoffs. So offensively, to not have the points and to have that defense playing as well as they still do at times, and they basically can't get off the field, so they're worn out. I'm always going to blame the players. They've got to find a way to step up. And
defenses have taken Mitch's legs out of it, forcing him to win inside the pocket, and they've got to get him moving a little bit. I mean, to hear Chase Daniel tell me in the locker room we're not on the same page, and Mitch say we're taking turns making mistakes, you got to figure it out, and it has to happen against Detroit on Sunday.
Yeah, if it doesn't happen soon, somebody might get the hook. And this segment is called On the Hook, sponsored by Bass Pro Shops. Now we're going fishing.